Hi everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. Boy, we've all been so wonderfully entranced by the Cricut Joy and especially the insert cards as they're called. And I wanted to go over how these insert cards are made so you can make your own. The folks at Cricut have developed a wonderful array of cards for us to do the Cricut Joy insert cards using the CardMat. But sometimes you just want to make your own. Maybe you have a favorite graphic or there just aren't enough variety available to you from which to choose. So I wanted to show you how very simply you can create your own Cricut Joy insert cards. These are the cards that are cut on the Cricut CardMat, the brand new CardMat. It goes in the Cricut Joy and it has an insert that's a tab, which you don't need any glue for. So let me show you how this works. It's really simple. So you want to open up a Cricut Design Space canvas, and the first thing we want to do is we want to establish the frames around the image. Okay, so we're going to go to images and all images, and you can find these by typing in quick cut or quick corner. You can also find them under here under trending cards. I'm going to choose that because I want to show you the differences in what's here. So you'll see a bunch of cards and they're pre-made, and so you might be tempted to think, okay, this is what I want. But actually these cards that show a back to them are actually made for the Cricut Maker or Explore. So if you did choose these, you would not be able to cut them on your Joy, okay? What you want to do is scroll down a little bit more, and you're going to see a few different things. So here's another one you're going to see. These are called quick corner cards or quick cut corner cards, and these also are for Maker or Explore. But what we're going to look for is this sort of four handles or four corners that are sort of floating in the air, and we're going to choose that. That's because when we're cutting with the Cricut Joy, really the card is all cut out, okay? So what we're really looking for is to just do the cutout on the front face of the card, okay? So let's choose this one, although there are like a couple dozen choices that you can make. So we're gonna choose that, and we're gonna bring it into our canvas, and this is a just a plain old Design Space canvas. Looks slightly different if you're doing this from the app than when you're doing it from your laptop. I'm working from my laptop, but you can also work from your app, and that's completely fine. So now that we have these corners, we're not going to touch the corners because they are set up to cut specifically an A2 card, which is a it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. So they're specifically set up. And now what we're going to do is go and look for some artwork or an image. So we're going to go to images and let's see, go to regular images, and I'm doing Mother's Day, but you can do whatever whatever you'd like to do. So I did a search for Mother's Day, and it comes up with a 5,500 results, which is fabulous. And I want to show you what you're going to look for. So this is one that I did, and it's really pretty. Now this is also available as a full card, so I want to show you the difference. So here's the full card. These are not what you're going to choose if you have the Joy, okay? Because again, the Joy doesn't do scoring, and it doesn't do this size card. It uses a pre-folded card in the CardMat. So let's go and look for an image, and we want the image to be sort of like a stencil. It's a very simple cut, and it is one layer. Okay, so here's this card that I made, but I want to do it, this actually doesn't have the tabs on it, would require some gluing, and I want it to be on the Joy. So I'm going to keep scrolling looking for this image, And I'm sure that it's here because I was working with it just yesterday. So there's all kinds of images, and some of these, like these silhouettes, work fabulous with the Joy. Just wanted to show you some of these, okay? And let's see if we can't find our, maybe we can't, but all right, so let's look for something else. This one might work. But you see that they are, some are just very plain. This one might work. It's kind of a robot mommy. All right, so here's a robot mommy. Actually, I'm gonna go back and look for that other one because I really like that one and I wanna show you how to do it. You can indeed cut these out on the going the opposite way, which is what I did here for this Easter card, and also here for this one, this mother's card, okay? But that's a little slightly different technique. But I want to go back to this one, so let me see if I can't find that one. And, well, here it is, here it is. Okay, so we're going to choose that. We're going to bring it in, insert image. Let's put the robot one over here because that's slightly different. All right, so here's our image, and honestly, I like to make my image slightly smaller because I don't want any of the cut touching the handles, because the handles are where there's going to be kind of a weak spot in the paper. So I actually made this image slightly smaller so that it fits within the frame. So I don't know, just a scotch smaller, not and not definitely not touching anywhere within the frame, and I'm just sort of lining it up the way that I like it. Okay, so there's, I think, a good lineup of the image with the frame. And now we're going to use a technique called Weld. So we're going to select the entire, both of the images, and we do that using our, using our mouse, or you can do it with your finger if you're on the iPad. So you need to make sure the entire thing is selected, and then down here on the bottom you have a choice of Weld. You have slice, weld, attach, flatten. We're going to choose Weld, and Weld basically does what it says it does. It welds together the images. And you'll notice that it does turn it a different color. Maybe you don't want that color. Maybe it's better to change it to a different color. That's up to you. It really doesn't matter what color it is because it's simply a like kind of a stencil that we're going to be cutting out on the CardMat. And again, we're doing the CardMat. You can use the pre-folded cards that are available in the insert cards, or you can cut your own from your own card stock. Now, I've gone over how to do that a number of times, but just so that you know, just a really quick reference, you can take 8.5 by 11 inch paper and cut it the long way. So in half at 11 is 5.5 inches, okay? And then you fold it and you put it inside of the CardMat underneath the pocket. And then we're going to make sure that the front is on there really well, okay? And we're gonna hit make it. I want to make sure my Joy is set up for this though. Okay, so we're going to hit make it, and we're going to be given the choice of what kind of mat, or if we want a mat at all. And in this case, we do want the CardMat, so we're going to choose the CardMat. And it does say, for pre-folded cards, to give you an idea. Without the mat is only good for Cricut Smart materials, like the iron-on, the vinyl, that sort of thing, the labels. And then on the mat, which is for any material, but the CardMat is unique because it does hold this folded card, okay? So we're gonna hit done. We have to review our artwork. Now there might be a temptation to move this around thinking that it might not be centered, but actually what I found is that it is indeed. You don't need to move it around at all. And so we're just going to hit continue and choose insert cardstock as our material. Okay, so I'm going to push back my my laptop so you can see how the Joy works. So here's my Joy, my Cricut Joy. Let me pull back a little bit so you can see. And it's blinking, but it has no buttons on here. And that's okay. It's just a different way. If you're used to a regular Cricut machine that has the buttons, you just need to know that you operate it using your design space instead of the actual machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our card in the CardMat, and we're going to guide the the mat under these little guides, and so that the rollers can pick it up. It will automatically pick it up and sort of kind of assess what it needs to, if it does have the right material in there, okay? And then you got the blinking light again. You're going to hit go on design space, and then it's going to go ahead and cut out your card, the card front. So while that's cutting, I'll just point out that, again, I made this card using 8.5 by 11, and I also made these inserts. And the exact measurement for the insert is 4 inches this way and 5.25 inches this way. That way it will fit perfectly within the card, you see? And you just put it in there. Now you don't have to use glue, but some of these images, and I'll show you this one, or these two actually, some of these images kind of pull up from the card, so you may want to put a little dot or two of glue just to hold it down. And here's an example of one that I did use a little tiny bit of glue on, okay? Now I'm going to give you the design space file for all of these cards so you can have a look at what I did. But this technique, again, is very easy to replicate, and you can do it for any reason you want. You know, Earth Day, St. Patrick's Day, Father's Day, all of those. So in case there's a holiday that you don't feel is represented well in the Joy cards, here you can make your own. That's what's so great about a Cricut, or just learning the Cricut, is you can really customize it to fit your particular needs. So it's all set. We're going to unload it. I'm going to show you how it comes off of the machine. So here it is, it's cut out, and what we're going to do is just peel it. We're going to be very gentle, but we're going to peel it away from the CardMat, and sometimes little pieces stick, and that's okay. You just have to sort of nudge them along, get them out of there. Let's see, I think that's it. Oh, we got one little piece here. And then we're going to take our insert, and we're going to tuck it into the tabs. And that is it. Again, you may want to put a little tiny bits of glue if you don't feel like that's enough, you know, in there. But the idea of this is that it's a no glue craft. So this is a great little project for little ones that you don't want to get all involved with glue on. So I hope that this has helped you, and you try your hand at making your own Cricut Joy insert cards. I'll be back again really soon to show you some more great Cricut Joy crafts. Thanks so much for joining me today. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Miss Rita to the Rescue. Have a great day.